Breaking Free, the art of unleashing your true potential. Welcome to the BlackCEO Podcast, where we delve into the minds of extraordinary individuals who are reshaping our world. Today, we're in for a treat as we explore the transformative insights from my recent conversation with the remarkable Priscilla Moultrie. Priscilla isn't just a successful entrepreneur. She's a beacon of hope for countless individuals struggling to break free from the invisible chains holding them back. Her wisdom has the power to ignite a revolution of self-discovery and empowerment. So, buckle up, because we're about to embark on a journey that might just change the course of your life. Let's kick things off with a question that might make you squirm in your seat. Have you ever felt like your greatness was being intentionally contained? Take a moment to really sit with that question. It's uncomfortable, isn't it? Imagine, if you will, that you're a brilliant, vibrant butterfly. Your wings are painted with the most vivid colors imaginable, and you're filled with an innate desire to soar through open skies. But instead of freedom, you find yourself trapped in a jar. The lid's on tight, and you can see the world outside, but you can't quite reach it. That jar, it's not made of glass or steel. It's constructed from something far more insidious. Other people's fears, their insecurities, and sometimes their deliberate attempts to keep you small. This metaphor isn't just a flight of fancy. It's a reality that Priscilla Moultrie illuminated in our conversation, and it's a struggle that resonates with so many of us. But here's the kicker. That jar isn't impenetrable. It's not even real in the physical sense. It's made of perceptions, both yours and others. And today, we're going to learn how to shatter it. Now, you might be thinking, hold up, I'm not trapped, I'm doing just fine. Right there, and maybe you are. But let me challenge you with this. Are you truly living up to your full potential? Are you allowing yourself to be as big, as bold, as brilliant as you could be? Or are you unconsciously dimming your light to make others comfortable? Priscilla's journey is a testament to the power of breaking free from these invisible constraints. She shared with me how she learned to set positive boundaries, to move forward in life, to prosper and grow and be successful. And let me tell you, it's not always a smooth ride. It's more like that box of chocolates Forrest Gump talked about. You've got to analyze your selections and be steadfast in making sure your choices line up with your true self. But here's the thing, and this is crucial. It's not about bulldozing through life, disregarding everyone else's feelings. It's about finding that sweet spot where you can shine without dimming anyone else's light. It's about creating a win-win situation where your success inspires and uplifts others rather than threatening them. Priscilla's approach reminds me of a story about a young eagle raised among chickens. This eagle, never having seen another of its kind, believed it was a chicken. It pecked at the ground, never daring to spread its wings. One day, an old eagle saw this young one scratching in the dirt and asked, "Why are you down there with the chickens?" The young eagle replied, "I am a chicken." The old eagle didn't argue. Instead, he simply picked up the young eagle, flew it to a high cliff, and said, "You are not a chicken. You are an eagle. Now fly." At first, the young eagle was terrified. It had never flown before, but as it looked out over the vast expanse before it, something stirred deep within. With a hesitant hop, it spread its wings, caught an updraft, and soared into the sky. This story beautifully illustrates what Priscilla emphasized in our talk. Sometimes we need someone to remind us of our true nature, to challenge our self-imposed limitations. But ultimately, the decision to spread our wings and fly is ours alone. Now, let's talk about fear. It's the elephant in the room, isn't it? The fear of rejection, the fear of failure, the fear of success even. These fears can be paralyzing, keeping us stuck in that metaphorical jar. But Priscilla shared a powerful insight. Fear is just a feeling, and feelings don't have to control us. She advocates for an approach that I like to call breathe through it. When faced with a challenging situation, when those fears start creeping in, take a step back, breathe, analyze the situation. Is this fear based on reality, or is it just your mind playing tricks on you? Is it protecting you from genuine danger, or is it holding you back from growth? This reminds me of another story, one about a man who was afraid of shadows. He spent his entire life running from them, never realizing that if he just stood still and faced the light, the shadows would disappear behind him. Our fears are often like those shadows, looming large when we run from them, but shrinking when we turn to face them.
But let's be real for a moment. This isn't easy. Breaking free from the constraints others place on us, and more importantly, the ones we place on ourselves, is hard work. It requires courage, persistence, and a whole lot of self reflection. It's about recognizing when we're playing small to make others comfortable and consciously choosing to step into our power instead. Priscilla emphasized the importance of setting positive boundaries. This isn't about building walls to keep others out, it's about creating a safe space where you can grow and thrive. It's about learning to say no to things that don't align with your values or goals, and yes, to opportunities that challenge and excite you. Think of it like tending a garden. You need to create the right environment for growth: rich soil, plenty of sunlight, the right amount of water. But you also need to protect your plants from weeds that might choke them out. Your life is that garden, and your boundaries are the fence that keeps out the things that might stunt your growth. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Priscilla pointed out something that many of us overlook: the power of choice. Remember that box of chocolates metaphor? Life presents us with many options, but it's up to us to choose wisely. We need to analyze our selections and make sure they align with our true selves and our goals. This isn't about making perfect choices all the time. That's impossible. And striving for perfection is just another way we trap ourselves. It's about making conscious choices, understanding why we're making them, and being willing to course correct when needed. I'm reminded of a story about a young woman who was offered her dream job right out of college. It was everything she thought she wanted: prestigious company, great salary, impressive title. But as she was about to sign the contract, something didn't feel right. She took a step back, breathed through it, and realized that while this job looked great on paper, it didn't align with her true passions and values. It took immense courage, but she declined the offer and instead took a lower paying job at a nonprofit. 5 years later, she's leading innovative projects that are making a real difference in the world, and she's never been happier. This story illustrates a crucial point that Priscilla made. Success isn't just about achieving external markers like money or status. It's about aligning your actions with your authentic self and creating a life that feels fulfilling and meaningful to you. But here's the $1 million question: how do we actually do this? How do we break free from the constraints, set healthy boundaries, make aligned choices, and step into our true power? Priscilla offered some practical strategies that I want to share with you. First, self awareness is key. You need to really know yourself, your values, your passions, your strengths, and yes, even your weaknesses. This requires honest self reflection and sometimes uncomfortable truths. But remember, discomfort is often a sign of growth. Second, practice saying no. This doesn't mean becoming negative or closed off. It means being selective about what you allow into your life. Every time you say no to something that doesn't serve you, you're saying yes to something that does. Third, surround yourself with people who support your growth. This doesn't mean, yes, men who never challenge you. It means people who see your potential and encourage you to reach for it, even when it's scary. Fourth, embrace failure as a learning opportunity. Every misstep is a chance to gather data, refine your approach, and come back stronger. Remember, failure is an event, not a person. You are not your failures. Fifth, and this is crucial, cultivate compassion both for yourself and others. Recognize that everyone is fighting their own battles. When someone tries to contain you, it's often because of their own fears and insecurities. Understanding this can help you respond with empathy rather than anger. Now, I want to circle back to something Priscilla said that really stuck with me. She talked about having a tone of calm passion built in with excited fire. This beautiful paradox is at the heart of true empowerment. It's about being grounded and centered, yet also alive with possibility and enthusiasm. Imagine a mighty oak tree. Its roots run deep, providing stability and nourishment, but its branches reach high into the sky, always growing, always reaching for more light. This is the balance we're aiming for: deeply rooted in our values and sense of self, yet always reaching, always growing. Let's dive deeper into this concept of breaking free and unleashing our true potential. Priscilla shared a powerful story that illustrates this perfectly. She told me about a client of hers. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah was a brilliant marketing executive, always the go-to person for innovative ideas in her company, but she constantly found herself playing small, letting others take credit for her work, afraid to speak up in meetings. One day, Sarah confided in Priscilla that she felt like she was suffocating in her own life. Priscilla asked her a simple question. If you could do anything without fear of failure, what would it be? And Sarah's eyes lit up as she described her dream of starting her own marketing agency, one that focused on helping small, ethical businesses grow. Priscilla worked with Sarah to identify the fears holding her back. They discovered that Sarah's biggest fear wasn't failure, it was success. She was afraid of outshining her colleagues, of being seen as too much. This fear was rooted in childhood experiences where she was often told to tone it down or let others have a turn. Over the next few months, Sarah worked on setting boundaries both with herself and others. She started speaking up more in meetings, owning her ideas. She began to see her brilliance not as something to be hidden, but as a gift to be shared. And you know what? Her colleagues didn't resent her for it. In fact, many of them were inspired by her newfound confidence. A year later, Sarah launched her own agency. It wasn't easy. There were plenty of sleepless nights and moments of doubt. But every time she felt like giving up, she remembered Priscilla's words. Your potential is not just a possibility, it's a responsibility to yourself, to your community, to the world. Right? Today, Sarah's agency is thriving. She's helping small businesses make a big impact, and she's created a work environment where everyone is encouraged to shine. She's living proof that when we break free from our self-imposed limitations, we not only transform our own lives, but also create ripple effects that touch countless others. This story beautifully illustrates the power of what Priscilla calls intentional growth. It's not about making drastic changes overnight. It's about consistent, deliberate steps towards becoming more authentically ourselves. Now, I want to share another insight from Priscilla that really resonated with me. She talked about the importance of productive discomfort. This is the idea that growth often feels uncomfortable, and that's okay. In fact, it's necessary. Think about it like this. When you work out, you're essentially damaging your muscles. It's uncomfortable, sometimes even painful, but it's through this process of breaking down and rebuilding that your muscles grow stronger. The same principle applies to personal growth. Priscilla shared a technique she uses with her clients called the discomfort diary. For 1 week, they're asked to do one thing each day that makes them uncomfortable but aligns with their goals. It could be something as simple as speaking up in a meeting or as challenging as having a difficult conversation with a loved one. The results are often transformative. People begin to see discomfort not as something to be avoided, but as a signpost pointing towards growth. They start to develop what Priscilla calls a growth mindset. That's the belief that they can develop their abilities through dedication and hard work. This brings us to another crucial point that Priscilla emphasized: the power of mindset. She believes that our thoughts create our reality. If we believe we're trapped, we'll act trapped. If we believe we're capable of greatness, we'll act accordingly. But how do we change our mindset when we've been conditioned to think a certain way for so long? Priscilla suggests a simple but powerful exercise: the I am statements. Every morning, look in the mirror and complete the sentence, I am, with positive, empowering words. I am capable. I am worthy. I am enough. At first, that this might feel awkward or even silly. You might not believe the words you're saying, but remember, you're rewiring years of negative self-talk. It takes time and consistency. As Priscilla says, your mind believes what you tell it most. So tell it the truth in it, that you are capable of amazing things. Now, let's talk about something that often gets overlooked in discussions about personal growth: the importance of rest and self-care. Priscilla pointed out that in our hustle culture, we often equate rest with laziness. But she argues that rest is not just important, it's essential for growth and creativity. She shared a story about a client, let's call him Mike, who was working himself to the bone trying to launch his tech startup. He was pulling 16-hour days, surviving on coffee and determination. But despite his hard work, he felt stuck. His creativity was at an all-time low, and he was no closer to solving the technical challenges facing his product. Priscilla convinced Mike to take a week off. No work, no emails, no thinking about the business. Just rest, relaxation, and activities he enjoyed but had been neglecting. Mike was resistant at first, feeling like he was wasting precious time. But he trusted Priscilla and gave it a try. The results were astounding. After a week of rest, Mike returned to work with renewed energy and fresh perspectives. He solved the technical problem that had been stumping him for months in a matter of days. More importantly, he realized that pushing himself to the brink wasn't sustainable or productive. This story illustrates what Priscilla calls the paradox of productivity. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is rest. It's about working smarter, not just harder. It's about recognizing that your well being is not separate from your success, it's an integral part of it. As we near the end of our time together, I want to circle back to where we started, that metaphorical jar that so many of us feel trapped in. Remember, that jar is not made of glass or steel, it's made of beliefs, perceptions, and habits. And just as we constructed it, we have the power to deconstruct it. Priscilla's insights provide us with the tools to do just that. By cultivating self awareness, setting positive boundaries, making aligned choices, embracing productive discomfort, shifting our mindset, and valuing rest and self care, we can break free from the constraints that hold us back. But here's the thing, knowledge without action is just information. So I want to leave you with a challenge over the next week. I want you to pay attention to the moments when you feel constrained or small. Notice what triggers those feelings. Is it a person, a situation, your own self talk? Once you've identified these triggers, I want you to pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what would I do right now if I truly believed in my own greatness? Then here's the kicker, do that thing, take that action, speak that truth, reach for that goal. It might be scary, it might be uncomfortable, but remember that discomfort is the feeling of your wings unfurling, preparing you for flight. You are not a chicken pecking at the ground. You are an eagle meant to soar. You are not confined to a jar. You are as vast and limitless as the sky itself. The only true constraints are the ones we accept and internalize. So I challenge you, no, I dare you to break free, to shatter that metaphorical jar, to spread your wings and fly, because the world needs your unique gifts, your passion, your brilliance. Your potential is not just a possibility, it's a responsibility to yourself, to your community, to the world. So go out there and shine your light unapologetically and brilliantly. Be the eagle you were meant to be. Soar above the limitations others try to impose on you. And as you do, remember that your flight might just inspire others to spread their wings too. In the words of Marianne Williamson, as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. So shine bright, my friends. The world is waiting for your light. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery and empowerment. Remember, the power to break free and unleash your true potential has always been within you. Now it's time to use it. Go forth, spread your wings, and fly.